Hello guys, Belle here. Today we're going to be talking about the Holy Paladin. Now, the Holy Paladin is probably the only class that I have not healed on. So this is going to be fun for me as well for you because I'm seeing this for the very first time as I have never healed. I actually only have like a level 3 Paladin. It's that and the Hunter are the only two, oh, and Warrior. So Warrior, Hunter, Paladin, I don't actually play or have high level alts. Those are just my tiny alts. So this is pretty cool. I wanted to showcase this right off the bat. I wanted to showcase your mace. It is a gorgeous mace. It is the silver hand. I wanted to show you what it looks like. It's pretty beefy, especially for a healer. I feel like that just says badassery. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Also, in case you have not watched any of my previous videos, here's your more condensed stat window. This is a change in alpha, so this update for this video is done in the latest alpha build, which it's about to swap to beta, but it's as of 5/10, as of May 10th. This is the most current information on the Holy Paladin. So with that, what I know of Holy Paladins outside of this is their strong PvP heals. I don't really deal with them much in PvE because I don't PvE, but I know that they are preferred in a lot of comps for heals in PvP and all that good stuff. Let's talk about what your main situation and your core defensive abilities as far as heals are going to be. So you have your Flash of Light, your Holy Light, Holy Shock, Light of the Martyr, Beacon of Light, your Light of Dawn, and of course your Mastery here is going to be the Lightbringer. I mean, pretty obvious here, but it is going to be the Lightbringer. Basically, proximity to your target causes your spells to heal for up to 30% more. So that's really nice here for that to be your mastery. And then, of course, your holy specific talent is going to be your Beacon of the Lightbringer. This is passive, guys. So the maximum bonus you can gain is increased by 24% in regards to your mastery, which is Lightbringer. So a lot of stuff going on here to make Holy Paladins amazing, in my opinion, from what I've seen. Now, let us see what we have going on here. Here's going to be your spells. I put the majority of them on here just so that I could show you if there's, I don't know if there's been a lot of animation updates, but I'm going to showcase each spell just so you guys can see the animations of them. And then here's what you're looking at. I did also throw the artifact ability on there. All these artifact abilities are pretty neat, nice little spells as well. I also wanted to make sure that I talked to you guys about Absolution. We, in the alpha and the way that it's been talked about, is healers are now going to have the ability, and only healers, to mass res. So your Absolution, this is going to be your Holy Mass Resurrection. Sad for all the guilds that use this, but happy that they're making this fantasy in the sense of healers should be the ones that have to resurrect you. So this is going to be what it does, and this is the icon that it looks like. Pretty awesome. So here's all your spells. Then here's, of course, this is your passive abilities when it comes to what you're doing here at being a Holy Paladin. And let's talk about your talents. So I actually haven't, normally I pre-look at the classes, each spec's talents and kind of pick and choose, but this video, I just am going to ride the lightning with you guys. Some of these are not going to be new. Some of these were spells that you got to have inherently. Now they're making you choose between them. I don't know which one is which because I would never get any of these videos done if I had to look into each spec as to that. But I will be doing a PvP breakdown as far as going into all your honor talents, which some of the stuff that you might notice is missing will be here. When beta's open, which will be the end of this week, I'll be able to go in and I'll be doing spec-specific videos for all of your PvP talents. So let's talk about this first one. So this first set, you have Bestow Faith. This is an instant ability. It's on a 12-second cooldown. Does infuse a friendly target with Faith for 5 seconds, healing them for an extreme amount at the end. So during that time it's going, after the 5 seconds, you're going to get 130k. This is off my base stats. This is with my artifact weapon and my gear, which I'll just show you the gear I'm wearing so you guys have an idea. I'm wearing the combatant's gear, so level 810. This is what you're looking at as far as the power with just the base gear that I have. Obviously, you raiders, especially you hardcore raiders, you're going to have higher stats for that. Your second one here is going to be your Light's Hammer. This is on a 1-minute cooldown, but it is an instant ability. It hurls a light-infused hammer into the ground, where it blasts a 10-yard radius every 2 seconds for 14 seconds. Each blast deals 31k holy damage to the enemies and heals up to 6 allies for 10k. So let's break that down. So 10-yard radius every 2 seconds is when you're going to get a blast. Each blast deals 31k. This is, of course, we talked about this being on our base stat situation. So by my count, let's just do a little bit of math here, guys. Let me break out, let me take my socks and shoes off and do fingers and toes. So we're doing every 2 seconds, you're getting 31. So let's see what we've got going on here. So technically it's 31. So that's doing just about 220,000 heals in that 14-second span. So you're getting about 7 ticks off there. So pretty good blast that's going to be dealing that damage. And then you're going to get the off heals from that as well. In this next one, you have the Crusader's Might. This is passive. Crusader Strike reduces cooldown of Holy Shock and Light of Dawn by 1.5 seconds. So your Holy Shock is 8.9 second cooldown. It does a pretty good amount of heals. And then what was the other one? So it also did your Light of Dawn, which Light of Dawn is right here. That's a 10-second cooldown, so you're reducing that by just a tiny bit. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. 12-second cooldown. This does quite a bit, but this does damage as well. So this will be a moment where if you're PvPing and you want to be able to do damage and heal, then you can utilize this. If you're strictly doing PvE and you don't feel like doing any damage whatsoever, then you can just stick with your Bestow Faith. I'm going to go ahead and show the Lights Hammer just so I can showcase what that animation looks like. Cool nonetheless. Your next set here is going to be your Divine Steed. If you didn't watch the Ret video, I'm actually going to go ahead and make sure that I equip that so you guys can see it. The Divine Steed, basically you summon a mount to ride for 3 seconds, increasing movement speed by 100%. This is usable while indoors or in combat. So this is going to be your oh shit, can I please get away quick and fast button. I thought it was really, really nice because of the nature of it, which I'm actually going to grab it. And I'll showcase it right now for you guys. I don't normally stop in the middle of the talents to do that, but this way you can see what it looks like. That's pretty nifty. But for this set, for the talents, I wanted to do the Rule of Law, which is still on cooldown. Well, that's craptastic. How long is that on? Oh, we still got a little bit of seconds before that is a thing. So with your Unbreakable Spirit, so this is a passive ability. It does reduce the cooldown of your Divine Shield, Divine Protection, and Lay on Hands by 30%. So your Lay on Hands is a 7-minute cooldown. Essentially, the typical times I do see this is going to be your oh shit buttons popping cooldowns when it comes to PvE for trying to save, saving all the stuff. And what was the other one? So you had your Divine Shield, which this is on a 5-minute cooldown, and then your Divine Protection, which is also here, and this is on a 1-minute cooldown. This, I could see instances when you would want to use this, because it reduces it by 30%. It's going to be a lot closer and easier for you to be able to use that. You guys that main heals here would be able to decide what would be more useful in that situation. So what we also have here is we do also have the Rule of Law. This is an instant ability. It is on a 30-second recharge. This does increase the range of your heals and the reach of your mastery, which we talked about that earlier. That's your Lightbringer, by 50% for 10 seconds. I don't know what I would choose here. I'm gonna just go with the Unbreakable Spirit, just so I could see what the cooldown changes look like. So your Divine Protection is on 42 seconds, your Shield is on 3.5 minutes, and your Lay on Hands is 4.9 minutes. So I'm definitely thinking that this is going to be the way to go here, especially for the Lay on Hands, because it did reduce it quite a bit, so it's probably going to want to be your go-to. Now for the next set, you do have the Fist of Justice. This is a passive ability. Judgment reduces the remaining cooldown on Hammer of Justice by 10 seconds. Your Repentance, this has a small cast time of 1.6 seconds, and it's also on a 15-second cooldown. Does focus an enemy target to mediate, incapacitating, meditate. Sorry, not Why can't English be easy? Meditate and incapacitate the target, and dealing up to a maximum of 25% of the target's health in damage over 1%. This is usable on Demons, Dragonkin, giants, humanoids, and undead. You also have Blinding Light. This is an instant ability. It's on a 1.5 second cooldown. Emits dazzling light in all directions, blinding enemies within 10 yards, dealing a certain amount of damage. This does cause them to wander disoriented for 6 seconds. Non-holy damage will break the disorient effect. This level right here is in all of the specs of all of your specs for Paladins. So this is going to be something that you're going to be able to choose for no matter what spec you're in. I talked about in the Ret video that Blinding Light's probably going to be pretty useful for PvP, but this is just going to be a case-by-case basis and whatever you choose on how you choose to use it. I'll put it on here. Blinding Light is not something that's new to Paladins, so I'll show just to see if maybe they've possibly changed the animation on it. This next set is your Devotion Aura. This is passive. Allies within 10 yards take 20% reduced damage, split over the number of allies in the specific aura. Now, while Aura Mastery is active, all affected allies gain a full damage reduction, which is awesome. In this same set, though, you also have the Aura of Sacrifice. While you are above 65% health, 10% of all damage taken by allies within 10 yards is redirected to you. I don't really know if I like that. But while Aura Mastery is active, 10% of all affecting healing you deal is replicated in all allies of the aura. But some of you guys that are healers, tell me what this would be useful for, because I want to make sure that I understand. So if you're watching this, make sure you comment and tell me when you would use the Aura of Sacrifice. In this same set, you do have the Aura of Mercy. This does restore a little bit of health to injured allies within 10 yards every 1 second. And this is passive. So all these abilities here are passive. So I guess this would kind of be having to choose between a bunch of passive abilities. I think this has probably been my most frustrating thing of all things in Legion. Not a frustration so much as just they've taken a lot of the guesswork out of what you should have in your rotation because they made it passive. I'm old school. I like to click stuff. But we'll see how that works itself out. For this set, if one of you guys could ring in here and comment and tell me which you would choose for each of these, just because my knowledge on these passive abilities doesn't really allow me to have an opinion. But maybe you guys could show me which way you would go in which instance. The next set's going to be your Divine Purpose. It is passive. Light of the Dawn and Holy Shock have a 15% chance to not start their cooldown and make their next cast free. Pretty legit, just because your Holy Shock is on a 2.3 second cast. So it's a pretty cast time, which your Light of Dawn, where do we have our Light of Dawn? Let me find it. I don't know these abilities by icons, and I should. So this is a 10-second cooldown. So that's pretty cool. I could see a reason for using this. You also have the Holy Avenger. This is instance, also on a 1.5 minute cooldown. Increases the haste by 30% and your Holy Shock healing by 30% for 20 seconds. That's pretty huge. Your Holy Prism here is an instant, and it's on a 20-second cooldown. A beam of light turns the target into a Holy Prism, and the enemy target takes 90k holy damage and radiates a certain amount of healing to 5 nearby enemies within 15 yards. A friendly target is healed for 80k and radiates 67k holy damage to 5 nearby enemies. So this does a lot in this one thing. I think I'm just going to select this because I kind of want to see what this looks like. I don't know about you guys. Your next set, you have the Fervent Martyr. This is passive. Casting Holy Light or Flash of Light on your Beacon of Light reduces the cost of your next Light of the Martyr by 35%, which your Light of the Martyr here is takes a good amount of mana. So yeah, I guess that's pretty cool. Your Sacrifice Wrath, this is passive. Avenging Wrath lasts 50% longer and also reduces Holy Shock's cooldown by 50% for its duration. So I can see that being a thing. The Holy Shock's cooldown is on an 8.49 second cast, so this is going to decrease its cooldown by 50% and its duration. So pretty awesome. Judgment of the Light is a passive ability. Now applies Judgment of the Light to the target, causing the next 40 successful attacks against the target to heal the attacker for 4k. This effect can only occur once per each target. I guess that's okay, maybe. I think in this instance we're just gonna go with this one. Well, so what did we talk about? We talked about it reducing its duration as well, so I'm not really sure. It's reducing its cooldown. Oh, for its duration, so it doesn't reduce its duration. Okay, I wanted to make sure I was accurate in that. We'll just go ahead and choose that as the passive. Last but not least here, guys, the Beacon of Faith. This is instance on a 3-second cooldown. Mark a second target as a beacon, mimicking the effect of the beacon of light, your heals will now heal both of your beacons, but at a 20% reduced effectiveness. So you're healing 2 at a time, but you are losing a little bit of heals there. Your beacon of the Lightbringer, keep in mind that this is going to be your holy specific. Now your mastery, which is your Lightbringer, now increases your healing based on your target's proximity to either you or the beacon of light, whichever's closer. The healing and range of the light of the dawn is increased by 30%, which is pretty awesome. And then you also have your beacon of virtue. This replaces your beacon of light. It's instant and it's 12-second cooldown. Apply a beacon of light to your target and 4 injured allies within 30 yards for 8 seconds. I could see this being super useful in PvP. Correct me if I'm wrong, Holy Paladins. I feel like this would be really useful in PvP when trying to cap or take back a base. But that's just my very, very green knowledge of being a Holy Paladin. But I do like to pick things that I can showcase what they look like. The only crappy part is none of these are heals. I need a heal target. So let's heal this guy. There went the heals there. Showing you guys here. Just popping everything I possibly can on this person. I want to show you guys the animations. There I am, large and in charge. We're going to do the heal. And that way you can see all of the animations here. Beacon. And then your lay on hands. Still awesome as ever, guys. I like this. I feel like maybe I want to be a paladin. Maybe. All these videos have made me feel like I want to be a paladin. Here I will showcase your guys's some of the damage spells with your Hammer of Justice. And of course your Consecrate, and then your Crusader Strike. Wanted to make sure that I did highlight those. And then also we do have the Blinding Light. Looks like, I don't know if, and then your Cleanse. Interesting. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. Hope you guys like the animations here. In regards to that, hope you guys enjoyed. That Holy Prism is really cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys are new to PWNCAST, make sure you give us a subscribe. I'm going to continue doing up-to-date Legion videos and breaking down all the things for you guys as much as you guys need. So make sure you guys subscribe. If you're watching this video, do me a favor. Give me a like. I deserve it. I work really hard. If you don't want to give me a like, that's okay. Thanks for watching anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you so much for watching my Legion video about Holy Paladins.